everyone. Welcome to the training for our lighting console. We've got this unit right over here. It's the ETC color source, and it controls all of our stage lighting, all of our house lighting for the sanctuary. And so I just wanted to run you guys through how to use this. So the first thing is how to power on. What we're going to do is there's a switch right here. We have it labeled as the big red switch. There's also a guide right down here to tell you how to turn on the lights. First thing it says, flip the big red switch. Boom, big red switch is on. And then we're going to hit this blackout button right over here. Okay, there's a little star button right here. We tried to find an icon that kind of matched it. Hit the star button and then blackout, and it will turn the lights on in the sanctuary. Now, you'll notice that if I pan around right now, there are no lights on except for those LEDs up on stage. Those are controlled by a power strip up there that I'll show you guys in just a second. But let me run through the rest of this first. So in order to use the light board the most effectively, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that this playback here is selected. You can see you can select channels 1 to 20. You can actually select 21 to 40 as well. You can select playback. You've got different pages of playbacks. We want it to say playback 2. And the reason is because then we've got this list right down here that shows what the different playback options are. And when you're going through the order of service, we have some lighting cues that are written out on the order of service. So pre-service, we're going to use light 1. For greeting, we're going to use either light 2 or light 3. For worship, we're going to use lights 2 through 5. And so let me show you what that means. So basically, we're just going to go for pre-service. We want to have this one up. And then when we get to worship, we're going to bring up the fast worship set. What that does, if we can see out here again, turns the lights up on stage. But then also it turns off some of the house lights. This is intentional to give people a little bit more opportunity to focus on God instead of focusing on the people around them. And so we dim the lights during worship. During the sermon, though, we leave the lights up in case people need to read their Bibles or they want to take notes. And so that is intentional as well. During worship, we can fade from one scene to the next. When you're doing the fade, it's okay to go slow. So try and get the fader that you're going to up to like 60 or 70% before you start bringing the other one down. What that looks like up on stage is when I'm flipping through, okay, now I'm going to go from light 4 to light 3. But watch what happens if I go too fast. Then you see everything dim. It kind of goes down and then back up. If you bring the lights up to about 70% first, it might get a little bit brighter up on stage, but we don't get that dim and we don't get really bright. And if you take 2, 3, 4 seconds to make that change, then you should be able to manage it in such a way that it works pretty easily. A couple other things that I want you guys to be thinking about. So everything is available. All of the lights should be available, and especially the light cues that we use on the order of service are on this top row here. We've got a few down here, 18, 19, and 20. These ones turn just the stage lights on, just the house lights on, so that you can, if you need to in a hurry, you can get the house lights on and nothing else. But preferably you would be using like the pre-service because it's got some LEDs and stuff, a little bit nicer, but that is an option as well. The only other thing that I wanted to say about the lighting is that it's really important that if there's times in the service when we're asking people to do something, for instance, taking notes or filling out an offering envelope or or things like that, filling out a next steps card. We want to make sure that there's enough house lights that they can see what's going on. So if we have a video that plays at the end of the offering, like if we're transitioning from the offering into the sermon, oftentimes I will just say a prayer and then the video starts playing. But people might still be filling out their offering envelope. They might still be, looking at some things. And so we want to make sure that we have the house lights up so that they can do that. We've got 2 different video settings. The first one is on number 7. That has no house lights. The second one is on number 8. That is video with house lights. So we bring that up so that just in case we have that as an option. Or you can use either numbers 19 or 20, which bring the house lights up in addition to whatever scene you're using. So we just want to make sure, though, that again, if we're doing communion during worship, bring the house lights up so that people can see their communion cup. You can either switch to one of the sermon playbacks, or you can bring the house lights up as a blend so that you have that in there. That's really all there is to running our light board. When you're done, hit the blackout button and then flip the big red switch and the lights are off. And that's all there is to running the lights here at Generations Church.